With just a show of hands, how many of you weren't of age to vote in the last presidential election, but would have if you could? Okay, you guys can lower your hands now. As college students in today's society, we need to be aware of what is going on around us. The younger generation should be able to take charge to change the nation we live in. The younger generation should be able to, with the lowered voting age, more younger individuals can be part of a huge difference in today's society. The United States minimum voting age should be lowered to 16 years old because the current age is causing current age restriction is causing a mass reduction of voters in the voters turnout. A lowered age will reduce these instances, and we will see a future increase of voter turnout where all voices are heard equally. At age 18, the current voter turnout is lower than what it could be if the age was decreased to 16. More and more students who aren't old enough to vote are not wanting to. Teens aged 16 to 18 feel left out of the vote because they're not being heard enough. A lot of them want their voices to be heard, and it isn't getting put into policy. In an article titled 10 Reasons to Lower 10 Reasons to Lower Voting Age, it is stated, quote, young people have adult adult responsibilities but are denied the same rights. Teens that are 16 years old are able to apply for jobs and can even start driving. However, teens are unable to vote because of current restrictions. Others, however, do volunteer within their community also. Young people must follow the law, but currently cannot have a say on making it. In some states, 16 and 17-year-old teens are automatically considered to be moved from a juvenile prison to a maximum security prison. Teens around this age with a current job also must follow tax rules. In 2011, teens under 18, teens under 18 paid over 730 million taxes. Voter turnout can increase because of having 16 and 17-year-old teens vote. In the 2016 election, voter turnout was at its lowest it's been in 20 years. Approximately 126 million votes were cast. This only accounts for 55% of the voting age group. Making teens 16 and up, allowing teens age 16 and up can allowing teens ages 16 and up can add a sizable chunk of votes to the next election. In 2016, there were over 12.5 million teens aging 16 and up in the United States. None of these 12.5 million students and teens did not have their voices heard. Now that we have seen how the current minimum age requirement for voting is, Now that we have seen how the current minimum age for voting is ineffective, we can see that lowering the age of voting is the solution. Obviously, the current age requirement has not done anything to improve voter turnout, so we should try to lower it. It isn't just about lowering the current requirement. It should also be about educating the community about how this can be effective. It has been proposed many and many times over and over again to bring the voting age down to 16. However, since most advocates for a new voting age are teens, changes for this are very difficult. According to the Nation Youth Rights Association, teens aged 16 to 18 are often underappreciated, underrepresented. Due to this underrepresentation, the voices of the age groups must wait to be heard. Mock elections are often held in high schools to serve to students and see how votes could possibly turn out. During the November 2016 election, high schools in Southern California performed a mock election to see if students could change the votes. Other schools in multiple other states and countries have also done similar mock elections. We can also look at other communities and other countries who are also considering lowering their age to 16. The UK has thought about lowering their voting age to 16 as well. In Austria, also investigated possibly moving their voting age down a few years. Lowering the voting age requirement would increase the voter turnout for future elections. A new voting minimum would be more effective than the current law we have now. It would increase voting turnout, resulting in a better representation of the many people living in this country. With an increase of population that can vote, more votes will be cast, leading to a larger vote altogether. A larger voter turnout would mean that more people are involved with helping determine who runs the free world. It could also influence the registered voters who don't currently vote to vote in future elections. And if 12.5 million teens could vote, that would make a drastic change to who gets elected and what happens in this nation. With this being the case, students would not be able to complain about the results because they were a part of it. If this new law does not become a reality, just imagine how much our future voter turnouts could be. Could change. Future voter turnouts could get worse as time goes on. In 2016, the voter turnout for the presidential election was already at a 20-year low. If something doesn't change now, in future elections in 2020 and 2024, our voter turnout could be a lot worse than today. The United States minimum voting age should be lowered to 16 years old because the current age limit is causing a future decrease to voter turnout. And to combat these instances, lowering the age would increase the overall amount of voters in the voter turnout, and as well as all voices being able to be heard. All age groups should have their voices heard, and they need to be a part of the change. By decreasing the voting age, can be more students can be responsible in policy changes in America today. With all this new information, I hope you all will go out there and advocate for a lower voting age, and also be able to understand the voices that are trying to be heard among the many teens out there, because they also deserve a chance to be heard.